Well, hey guys. Today I'm going to be showing you the beginning stages. At least right now, I'll probably compile this into one video, but these are the beginning stages of doing a Fuji 488, Polaris 488, whatever, swap into this 71 Panther with a 399 that's half blown up and I can't get any parts for. So, yeah. So far what I've done is I'm just seeing the compatibility of it. So I've got this blown up 488 block here, but more now? Yep.
What the fuck?
Good enough for getting the basic measurements down before I go and pick up another 488 tomorrow. So basically, first thing I wanted to know was, well, even though the engine I'm getting has a clutch, I'd rather use the original clutch to get it right. And well, I took the clutch off right here, and well, those are the same crank. So yeah, so in case anyone's wondering, old Kawasaki, here's the engine plate. Old Kawasaki TIA or T1A, whatever, 400 or 440, or, all those clutches are the same as the Polaris Fuji clutches. So in case you ever wanted to know that, if you ever need to anyway, they are the same. So anyway, yeah, so far, it looks fairly, everything looks fairly self-explanatory here. You just got the difference here, I just basically make new motor mounts, and yeah, that's about it. New motor mounts, use up the throttle. So, I know, big thing is that engine plate is a little over half as wide as we need it to be, so basically I don't know if this is aluminum or steel. If it's steel, I'll just weld onto it. If it's aluminum, I have to make a new one, probably out of steel, but just make a new plate to extend to where more bolts out here and then right over here. It's nice that they have all this extra crap so it's easy to bolt onto, but yeah, you pretty much just got to make another plate, extend out here, because these motor mounts, it's about right here and here, about right here and here. On the underside, you can see that that's quite a bit thinner, but yeah, other than that, it's like this, hopefully this swap should work, so yeah. Alright, it's been a while since I picked up the camera on this project here, but basically the plan last time was to get the 488 mounted. And I got that mounted, done some, I have a couple videos of me here and there, me of ripping this around the yard. And well, I was in the process of getting the primary and secondary lined up, getting the secondary to actually spread out, because kind of the issue I was having is that secondary has too much pressure on it or something. Too much spring pressure, and it wasn't wanting to spread, and I was only getting about 30 miles an hour. So then I switched to this clutch. I was in the process of realigning this when, well, the good old cleat track, which I had, if you can see it under here, but those drive cogs didn't shatter, surprisingly. They just rounded off, which is kind of surprising, but also not, because that's about twice the horsepower of even the 440s that came in this chassis. But anyway, so that just means that the rubber track conversion I was planning on doing is going to happen now. So basically, oh yeah, and that was the other thing you might have saw is, well, I had a couple cleats fall off since these rivets were so rusty, and I didn't want to pay hundreds of dollars for steel rivets to rivet all of them back on when I knew I was going to replace them. So I just grabbed some machine screws and washers, stuck them through, and welded them like that. And it worked for the mile I drove it until that stupid drive cogs wore out, but yeah, so took that out, and I was gonna try and respring the secondary. I was gonna try and do some adjustments there, and I realized there really wasn't a whole lot of room for adjustment unless you have new springs, which I don't. So yeah, so we're gonna have to probably put better weights in this primary or something like that. Yeah, so now I just got to figure out how I'm gonna get rubber track drivers on that jack shaft. I don't know if I'm gonna have to modify that one. I know the other way is to get a drive shaft out of like an LT gray, but that's money I might not have right now. So anyway, yeah, that's the update on this project. All right, so this is the kind of the mock-up of how this is going to work. So basically, as I was saying before, this shaft is 1 inch, and then this hex shaft is, the space between the two sides is also 1 inch. So these these drivers here, they center fairly well on just a round 1 inch shaft here. So I mean, they'll be centered. So what I'm going to do to lock them now is just got some of these steel go-kart hubs, and I just drilled some holes. I'm going to do the same thing for the other driver, and then I'll have a single set of 4 bolts that go through all 4 of them. And I'm just going to weld these hubs directly to the axle, because I mean, that's what they did for the original track anyway, original drivers, so might as well do that again. And then yeah, that'll be the drive system for this thing. All right, so this isn't quite the final assembly, but this is probably the final mock-up of how this is all going to work. So basically, we just got our drivers pounded on here, and then we've got these hubs in the center, which I'm going to go in here and weld. And then have these bolts are going to be what locks it to the shaft. And then I said these fit tight enough around here. I am going to put the hose clamp around here just for good measure. But yeah, that's how that drive shaft is going to be. All right, so now we have some more progress on this thing. So I got the track in there. And the track I ended up getting, the track and suspension, was a 133-inch Polaris one. Never mind the phaser idlers in there. Just don't worry about that. Anyway, I got the drive shaft and the track in there. Obviously, I haven't quite gotten the gear set in. Still playing with how that's all going to line up, because basically the original 1-inch shaft used standard locking collars, which are annoying as hell, to like lock it side to side. So I'm gonna have to get the gear set on so all that works, and then basically just I tapped that side, since there's already a hole there. I tapped that, and I'm gonna have to space it out so then it basically that locks it from side to side rather than just locking collars. Same thing with this shaft right here. I already did that off camera though. And I think it's spaced how it needs to be, but obviously I need to take that gear back off so then I can get get the other gear on, so then I can reassemble it. And then after all that, then the final step to take this thing for a ride again is going to be figuring out where to put the mounting plates for that 133-inch skid. So I think the fronts line up, I hope, and then hopefully that'll allow me to get proper track tension. If not, then I'm going to have to, but I know for a fact I'm at least going to have to make a new rear mounting drop-down plate, and I might have to make a new front one too. But anyway, yeah, that's the progress I have on this thing for today. All right, now I'm putting the track and skid in. So got the front bolts aligned just fine. I had to do some spacing there. I had to do kind of an offset to this side since my drive shaft wasn't perfectly centered. I got not going to show it to you right now, but I got the chain back on in the chain case, didn't put the cover back on. But next thing I got to do is I just got to make a new mount for this, to probably make a plate that comes up here. Big thing is I just got to figure out how I'm going to get them to be the same on both sides. And then then at this point the thing should drive. Of course, you got all the here and there stuff like the wiring, the freaking, mainly wiring, just all that small crap. I'm gonna put some better freaking wear bars on these skis, but put something a little more pointy so they dig into the snow better, stuff like that. Just a bunch of small crap. So yeah. Well, I got the track and suspension in. So you can't tell me this doesn't look at least a little bit mean with the 133-inch track sitting way up like this. But yeah. Anyway, I got the suspension in, obviously, got the chain case back together. Just about ready to take it for a ride. Got to put, a couple here and there things back together, but got to just about ready to take it for a ride. We were supposed to be getting some snow tonight, so hopefully tomorrow I can, take it for a spin. My main issue is the last time I took this for a ride, and then the drive cogs rounded off, I was looking at the secondary, and the issue is it wouldn't go above about 30 mile an hour, and well, the belt wasn't sucking into the secondary, and then I eventually, when the drive cogs sheared off, I just freaking held the thing wide open, and it took just about to the end of where this 488 maxes out in terms of RPM to get that secondary to spread out. So I took that apart, and I retested it afterwards. When I had the chain case apart, I had no sprocket on there, and now it's about maybe, I don't have a tack on this thing obviously, but maybe halfway through its rev range that'll spread out, because what I did for the adjustment was I just took it apart, and I thought there would be more adjustment than there is. I mean, you can basically just tighten that spring a third of a turn. You're supposed to actually get different springs, but I of course don't have any. But yeah, you can just tighten that spring by a third of a turn, and I think it was basically, when I put it back together, I thought I was putting it back together as it was, and I was just going to put heavier weights in the primary. But it turns out I put it back together. Originally, it was at 2/3 of a turn tightened, and now it must be only at 1/3 of a turn tightened. And now it may be, my guess is, somebody has clearly been through damn near everything on this sled. So my guess is somebody took that apart, because I don't know if they wanted to weight it like that, they didn't, have some kind of a speed limit or what. But it seemed like that spring in there was coiled up too much before. Now that like it was kind of uneven, like it was binding too much, and now it looks about right. So I'm hoping that's all that was. Because either I'm gonna hop on it and it'll be freaking rocket ship, or I'll hop on it and as soon as I give it a little more than quarter throttle, it'll bog down because the secondary will spread and I'll have no power. So only time will tell. So yeah. Then the next thing is, I don't know what I'm gonna do about the exhaust. Of course, it'd be cool to see you have, dual pipes coming out of the sides. And I'm in Minnesota, and 1972 would be the cutoff for being able to modify your exhaust, and this is a 71, so it'd be illegal to just have expansion pipes coming out of the side. But I don't know if I want to do that. The only exhaust I have right now is the original 400 exhaust, which has the same inlets and outlets as the 488 anyway. I think I'm just gonna weld all that shit back in and have it go to that original hole right there. So I think that's what I'm gonna do. No, it will not have proper back pressure. I'll probably blow up the 488, but I've got fucking extra jugs and pistons for this thing anyway. So yeah, that'll, I'm sure next video you'll see I'll probably be ripping this thing around and not enough snow. So yeah. All right, well, I didn't really get any videos of riding the thing because there really wasn't enough snow to ride, but in the meantime, I got the exhaust done right there. Of course, it's not the right expansion pipe for 488, whatever, I don't care. Anyway, I got the exhaust in, got that all bolted up, and then I got the hood cut out to fit, and yeah. So I got you just pretty much, it was easy. I was expecting to have to cut more. You just had to take out the grill, which is sitting right there, cut out the grill, and then cut out that little spot for that, and that's pretty much it to make it fit. So this is going to be the look for now. I've got a piece of foam and vinyl I'm going to use for the seat. Don't have the original seat, but yeah, that's how she's going to be for now. I don't know. I'm probably going to, the next couple of days, work on getting that original fuel tank back in there so I can use that rather than a boat tank. So yeah, hopefully now the next step is I need some goddamn snow to ride it on. So, but what little I did ride it, I think that secondary is set up just about right, that primary secondary clutch system. So yeah,